This is our story about Ollie the Owl and his adventures through time. Olive Owl, chief librarian and protector of books, helps people find what they want. Ollie Owl is Olive's clumsy little nephew who is training to be a librarian. He helps her at the library and happily sorts the books into categories and puts them back in the right place.
As Ollie placed the last book on the shelf, an old-fashioned cover caught his eye. He dusted it off as he opened it. He saw a dark hole on the first page. Ollie dipped his little feathers into the dark portal and got pulled swiftly through.
He twisted and turned through time and landed outside a building that made delicious bread and cakes. Where am I? He thought. People's clothes looked different and Blaby looked strange to Ollie.
Don't you like the new family bakery? A passerby said to the little owl. It opened yesterday and the speciality is their tomato bread. Ollie looked at the sign and said it was established in 1967. Ollie saw a little mouse strolling into the bakery with a giant tomato above his head.
Squeak, squeak! The owl was feeling quite hungry, so he chased the tiny creature inside. He was met by Bella McMuffin, the baker's daughter.
What are you doing chasing Timmy? She said, patting the little mouse on the head. He is a very important mouse who delivers our time-travelling Blaby special, fine tomatoes for our famous tomato bread.
Do you know if a tomato, a vegetable, fruit or seed? It's a fruit, answered Ollie. Here is a piece of tomato bread for getting it right, Bella said. Ollie nibbled on the bread and felt himself being pulled away from the bakery. With a bump, Ollie landed in a very old-fashioned pub.
He could see glasses of ale, wooden bar stools, a cat and men wearing medieval clothes. He flew upwards and saw the roof was made of straw. Ollie remembered that this was called a thatched roof and realised he was in the Baker's Arms, the second oldest pub in England, and it was 1485.
Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a pub cat sat on a beer barrel, ready to pounce at Ollie.
Meow.
To avoid the cat, he flew up towards the thatched roof. Bang! He bumped into a huge wooden beam.
Ouch, he squawked, falling at the cat's paws.
Feathers flying everywhere. Yummy, meowed the cat.
My lunch has arrived.
No, it hasn't, said Ollie with alarm. How about you ask me a question, and if I get it right, I go free. And if not, then on lunch? Okay, purred the cat. Although this is a pub, we have a bakery here. How many bread buns are there on the pub sign outside?
Olive thought back to the sign and remembered. There were 4, as he was correct. Ollie quickly flew through the door as fast as he could to escape the cat and landed in the churchyard. He perched on a headstone. Phew, he was safe but really wanted to get back to Olive at the library.
Hello, said a soft voice behind him. Ollie turned to see a fox sitting reading. My name is Alex Winters. I wonder if you could help me, said the fox. Our weather vane on top of the church spire has stopped spinning. The instructions say it's a bird, and we need to twist it into place and then it will spin. But I don't know what type of bird. Do you?
Ollie looked up and remembered the farm books at the library. It's a cockerel! Ollie flew to the top of the spire and carefully twisted the cockerel, sending it spinning. Thank you, shouted the fox from below. As the cockerel spun faster, Ollie whizzed forward in time to the Victorian era of 1837, zooming through the church gates on his way.
It was windy as Ollie landed in front of Blaby Hall. In Victorian times, grand houses like Blaby Hall were painted cream or white to symbolise cleanliness and wealth. John Clark, the first owner of the hall, was a rich man. He was walking towards the gate to see Ollie.
John's hat blew off in the wind into a nearby tree in the park. Do you need some help? Asked Ollie.
Yes, please. Ollie flew over grassy land and could see large bumps on the earth. He collected the top hat in his beak and plopped it back onto John's head.
That area used to be a medieval village long ago, said John. Those bumps are the remains of rectangular enclosures. How interesting, said Ollie.
As I have helped you, could you help me? Said Ollie. I really want to get back to Blaby Library to my time, but I don't know how. John scratched his head. Maybe go to the ice house. It is known for having magical powers. That might help.
Ollie flew over the Blaby Hall back into the park. He heard something as he landed on the gate outside the ice house. Who's there? The little owl let out a surprised squeak. Hoot, hoot! He couldn't see anyone around. Come in the ice house for a bit. As he peeped his head in, he saw two frogs dressed in fine clothes.
Rabbit, rabbit. I'm Cade, a guardian of the ice house. This is Gertrude. We like to live in an ice house because we love damp and cold places.
Gertrude is stuck under a piece of ice that is fallen onto her, spluttered Cade. Ollie looked into the darkness and saw a poor frog who was shivering. Of course I'll help, he called. He heaved the ice from Gertrude's arm.
Thanks so much, said the frog with a big smile. Can you help me too? Said the little owl. I need to travel in time to Blaby Library, but I don't know how. Cade smiled. If you answer this question, I will help. Where did the ice come from? Ollie thought hard and remembered. It's Norway. Drink the melted ice. It has magical powers, said Cade.
As Ollie sipped the cold water, his feathers tingled and he floated through time. It was now 1980 and Ollie had landed in the duck pond with a splash.
A brave duck helped him to the side. She offered him a rest in her cosy nest, and the two birds snuggled. Perhaps if you could help me find my bow, I could give you advice on how to get home, the duck chuckled. Ollie hunted high and low until they found the young duck's pink bow. The duck pointed her wing high. Fly to the war memorial, she said.
The little owl flew to the memorial statue. It was a quiet and respectful place to remember the Blaby soldiers who had fought in the war. I really wish I could go back to Olive at the library. I just don't know how, said Ollie. He folded his feathers around his body and hugged himself. He thought about the soldiers at war, how they must have missed home too. You just need a little magic, whispered a kind voice.
A tearful Ollie turned to see a wooden bird from a bench transform into a real owl with purple feathers. My name is Opal, the wise owl of Blaby. Owls have always been important in Blaby from the early days of the town. We all have a little magic within us, she whispered.
If you can answer this question, your power will be released and you can go back to the library. Which flower is used as a symbol of remembrance? Ollie thought about the red flowers they displayed in the library around Remembrance Day in November. It's a poppy, he replied.
As Ollie answered correctly, the purple-white owl blinked twice and a swirl of purple light shone around Ollie. He was sucked back into a portal, whizzing, until he landed with a bump back in his own time in Blaby Library.
Olive was still stacking bookshelves as though only a second had passed. What an amazing adventure through Blaby's history Ollie had had and great friends he had made.
We hope that you enjoyed our story that we created for the Blaby Story Trail at Blaby Library.
Thank